Howdy folks, welcome to episode 14. Today we're going to try to fix what happened in the last episode, and yeah, if you didn't see the last episode, you should probably go watch it, because it will probably make more sense of things. And, you know, we will still be here, we'll wait for you, and we'll still be here when you get back, so why don't you go ahead and watch it. Go. Okay, they're gone. I can't believe they didn't they're back, hey, stop talking about them. Okay, Hey guys, welcome back. And yeah, we kind of had a slight mishap last episode, and yeah, I hope this thing isn't coming right at me. But yeah, we kind of had a slight mishap last episode, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw all my stuff in a cargo box. We'll throw it in this cargo box because I don't want to lose a bunch of stuff. And actually, so I'll need to get out of this thing and move stuff out of my hotbar too. There we go. And there. So yeah, that way, because what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to fly back to the planet, and I think it's flying over to the wherever that thing is. Yeah, it must be there. Okay. I think it's flying over to that thing. But yeah, let's see. Are we right side up or are we upside down? We are upside down. Okay, that's useful to know. If you hold down O in space, you will whatchamacallit? You'll auto level in space. So yeah, I need to watch out for that thing. I don't want to run into it. And actually, I think I can diagonal strafe too. There we go. We can go a little bit faster this way. But yeah, and let's see. I'll have to see if I can recognize any of the things. Because what I want to do is, instead of running around the planet, I want to just fly around it and, you know, basically land in the lake where my CV is, so that I can just take off from there instead of trying to run across the planet. Figure nothing is going to attack me when I'm just right next to the planet anyway. But yeah, so while we're on our way there, I figured I'd have a little discussion here, and yeah, some thoughts and everything. But you know what's funny is, after the last episode, the comments just totally exploded, which is not a complaint. It's totally cool. I like when the comments explode, and I think YouTube likes that too. They think videos are better, and they send more people to them when they have lots of comments and interaction and all that stuff. So definitely not a complaint, but yeah, the comments totally exploded, and most of the comments obviously were, you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda, which is also not a complaint either. I love the afterwards, you know, trying to figure out what went wrong, that kind of stuff. I find that type of discussion enjoyable as much as anybody else. So that's also not a complaint. And I also comment on other people's videos when I watch it and they screw up. You know, I'm like, hey, maybe if you did this kind of thing. But yeah, what was interesting about the comments, to me, what I found interesting was that there were a lot of different ideas. And, you know, it was, you should have brought spare parts, or you should have, you know, put more armor on your ship and all this stuff. And it's interesting that nobody commented basically what my thought was. And so my thought is, my analysis of the situation is pretty much this. Okay, there's different types of SVs. SVs can do lots of different things, and you know, there's like basically 4 functions, and I discuss this in more detail in an upcoming video on small vessels on my Academy series. But anyway, there's basically 4 functions that SVs mainly can serve, and optimizing them for up to 2 of them is possible, but you can't make an SV that's the best at everything. So I prefer to make specialized SVs instead of like trying to build one SV to do everything ever in the game with. And because that's just my preference, that's the way I enjoy playing the game. And So yeah, the SV that I built is is a scout. It's basically just a small light, not very heavily armed. It's just for going around and, you know, is that's not my lake, is it? No. It's just for going around and, with cheap fuel use kind of, and, maybe getting into skirmishes with drones and blowing them away easily, but it wasn't made for taking on heavy combat. And if you watch the last episode, it's like I started out and ended the episode in combat. It's like, here, let's go take out all these POI turrets and get shot multiple times, and let's go take out, this freighter and get shot multiple times. And I kept going back and back and back, even though I kept getting shot. And honestly, the reason I decided to go after the freighter was because they're so pretty much impossible to find otherwise. And so it's pretty much the only opportunity you're ever going to get to see one on camera. That might have been my only chance. So that's why I decided to take the risk and go after it. But yeah, my analysis of the situation was it was stupid to fly into combat, especially after already having taken damage and going back and back and back. But, I was also kind of close to I took out one of the turrets. I probably could have taken out another turret. I just, made some bad choices. But yeah, that's my analysis is you don't build a battleship to go scouting with, and you don't build a scout to go into battle with. So yeah, I did the latter and it was a bad move, and now we're enjoying the post bad decision discussion of it. But yeah, and the other thing that really entertains me is every time I build a ship like that, a light little scout, somebody's got to, criticize it for, well, it couldn't stand up in battle. Well, yeah, it's not made for that. It's like, hey, your sports car sucks at going through ditches and, driving in mud and repelling small arms fire. What a dumb car. It's, yeah, okay, or sure, but I guess, people that only play with one purpose in mind, like everything is about combat or whatever, I guess that's, how they would see it, or I don't know. But, but yeah, anyway, I'm going to get back to my base here. So basically, I'm going to fly around until I recognize my little lake, which should be around here somewhere. And I think it's on the night side. But yeah, I'm going to fly around until I recognize my little lake. Did I already get behind? Yeah, I'm already on the night side. And then I'm going to drop through the atmosphere and hope that I can land near my ship, my capital ship, without getting killed. If I can land in the water, I should be good. And so yeah, I'm hoping I can do that because, yeah, I didn't have the option to respawn at the capital ship because I never put a medical station or clone chamber on it, which kind of is necessary for that option to exist. But yeah, because otherwise I could have just suicided and respawned, I think, on the planet. I'm not sure if you have to be in the same playfield as your medical chamber to spawn in it. But anyway, I'm going to zoom back to the over my base, and I will meet you guys there in just a minute. Let's go check it out, guys. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is our little lake. And I think we are centered on it. So we are going to enter the atmosphere and then hope we are over it so that we can land safely. And I think I'm fairly close to the edge of the atmosphere. Yeah, there we go. Man, that was just really, really slow. That was really slow. Let me get my helmet too while we're falling, once we get into the atmosphere. I like how the drill charge info is still up there too for my drill that I don't have on me. Gotta love alphas. But yeah, that took about 15 minutes. I think I went the long way around the planet, but it was just crazy. Way too long of just floating in space. Okay, here we go. Here's the clouds. And I think that should be it. Come on. We can enter the atmosphere here someday. Maybe not. There it is. There it goes. Okay. So, yep. Perfect. Now if I can see where we are. Yeah, I need to get over the water. Thank you. And there we go. All right. So, let's see. We can turn the jetpack off. There we go. There's our capital vessel. All right. And yeah, leaving the planet and coming back seems to create these weird things sometimes. Okay. So yeah, the first thing I want to do is, before I forget, right? Before I forget, is I want to. All right, we can whatchamacallit, DQ all of these, unqueue. That's a word. Is that a word? Okay, and let's see, medical chamber, medic station. Okay. So we can turn that off. And there we go. Okay. So now we should be able to get... Well, that's cool. We've got 1,700 of those made. And I don't think they were manufacturing for that entire time that I was gone, but... Yeah, okay. So now we've got a medic station, which, you know... Where am I going to put this thing? It's totally going to ruin my ship. It's going to make my ship ugly. Putting this thing on here. Right? Okay, I guess down here is a good spot as any. I don't know. Yeah, up here is fine. Okay, whatever. There. That's a good spot for that. Alright, so let's see. Where did I leave my other ship? It is over on the shore, maybe? Is it over on the shore? Is it on the land? It's... Where did I leave my ship? Okay, so yeah, we're just going to go grab the ship. There it is. And I need to get some food, too. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Really? Okay, look at how much damage I just took from that. What is up with that? I took... Really? 210 points of damage? Okay, so we have a... Okay, I'm hearing hostiles. Alright, let's just go over this way. Because I don't have any weapons or anything on me. Alright, we're going to go over here and sit this thing down for a second. And actually, you know what? I have plenty of fuel. Do I have oxygen on me in my tanks? Yeah, you know what? There's oxygen in the tanks. There's ammo in the guns. There's fuel. We're just going to go get the ship. I don't want to mess around with all this other stuff. We're just going to go get the ship. And hopefully I have a repair and remove tool in the other ship. Because that's the thing I needed to bring. I need to make sure I bring. Yeah, I did have a multi-tool. I'm thinking about it now. I had 2 epic weapons, a multi-tool, and a drill. And so, here, let's see. My other ship is... Yeah, it's like totally on the other side of the planet, isn't it? Because if I point at it, yeah. Yeah, it's on the other side of the planet. Alright, I'm going to fly around that, and I will meet you guys in a second. There's the glitter. There's the glitter of the ship. I see it right there. Okay, here we go. We are there. An overshot, as always. And so, yeah, we're going to transfer all our stuff. Let's transfer all our stuff and everything. Let's see here. Get out, and let me make sure this is private faction. Let me get the fuel out of the fuel tank. And what else? Gatling gun, O2 tank. I need the O2. And I need all the ammo. Oh, and the plates, too. And that should be all the containers. Yep. Alright, so we're going to put our helmet on, turn jetpack on, and get out. Apparently I was wearing my helmet. Okay. And let's see here. We'll get our multi-tool. Here we go. And let's see, where is our multi-tool? There we go. So we're going to put this on disassemble, returns intact blocks, and there, we got a generator. Okay, and as you see here, the generator was destroyed. The generator was internal, and it was destroyed without even being directly hit, which, as far as the devs have said, is a bug, because they've said that they've tried to fix damage going through blocks and hitting internal components. So yeah, I honestly wouldn't, well, I probably still would have felt like I was cheating if I basically had you know, ignored that, because I already knew that was part of the game mechanic at this point and ignored it anyway and kept going. So yeah, actually I wouldn't have felt right using cheats to get around the consequences of being stupid, because we all know that's what this was. So yeah, let me get some food here. There we go. Okay. All right. And we're going to take this thing apart. And fortunately, the Gatling gun was down to 20 parts. And we'll even use this to make a new... We'll even use this to make a new SV soon. We'll make a combat SV. And that block, and then the core. There we go. Okay. So that ship is taken care of, and we can head back to the planet and repair this thing. So let's see, which side of the planet did we come from again? Look how my auto miners have appeared again. But yeah, when I spawned, or when I started the game in space, then suddenly the auto miners were not there. I think we came around this way, didn't we? Did we come around this way? That seems right. Alright, I will meet you guys back at base again. Alright guys, we are back, and let me turn this thing off. And, well, that was interesting. Okay. So what we can do is, if I can let my jetpack recharge, here we go. And don't forget to take your helmet off. And yeah, so what I want to do is I want to use some of the power coils that I got. And let me see, let me take these steel plates and dump them too. Let me put them in a box somewhere. Let's see. That's as good a place as any. And ship components, that's fine. Okay, and I need to grab... There we go. I need to grab out of the cargo box power coils. There we go. So yeah, we got some power coils. So I'm going to use those and grab these components too. let's see. We get our components. And... whoops. Wrong keys. Okay. So we're going to put all our stuff in here. Stuff all that in here. Okay, and we're going to build a CV repair bay because we can. And we're going to put that on the CV. And then we're going to park the ship on it to repair it. Because, yeah. And let's see. I have some hardened steel blocks. Do I have any? I think I have regular. I think I have regular blocks too. Let me check. Do I have the regular small? I know I had to have had some left over from when I built the ship, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So grab from the constructor. And there's our repair bay. And our steel blocks. And our thing. Okay, and so we're going to put the repair bay in some random weird spot like that, right? And let's see, I need to get the ship up here. And what we'll do is this. Let's see here. Is that over it? There we go. Whoops. Will it dock? There we go. Alright, so when we power it off, yes, it'll repair all our stuff. That's perfect. It'll repair all our stuff, and then what I can do is it done? Cool, it's done already, 100%. Alright, and so what I can do is I can take, let's see, I can take the R&R tool. I need to find where this generator was. Disassemble. No disassemble number 5. And let's see where the generator was. It was down here somewhere. Right? Right, generator? You were here somewhere, weren't you? Those are RCSs. It may have been up higher. I don't know. Let's see. There's the fuel tank. Is that the fuel tank? Yeah. And I can't pull the fuel out of it right now. Okay, and the fuel tank was there. And I'll bet the generator was in front of it. So that was which level? That was the middle level here. So if I take this block out and come on, this block out, that's where the generator was. Okay, so yeah, that makes lots of sense that the generator was destroyed. Right. Yeah. Okay, so the generator was there and it was destroyed. Whatever. Okay, so we will put these blocks back, and let me see, was that one of these? Nope. Although I can do that. That might be kind of cool. Yep, I can do that. That'll go with the rest of the contour of this thing. So we'll do that, and we'll do that, and this is how my ships end up being altered. And then I can paint that off screen, because you guys know how the paint gun works. But anyway, that's going to be it for episode 14. Thanks for joining me for all the fun. And thank you guys for all the comments and all that. Like I said, I really do like all the comments. It's fun. It's fun to discuss all the different ways to play the game and all that stuff. So yeah, thank you for that, and thank you for joining me, and I hope you join me in episode 15, where I think we are going to try to get some warp capability going. We're going to build a small capital ship that can warp so that we can go to a different planet instead of all these distractions. Yeah, we're going to go to other planets, and I think we're going to start with Oskatoon and try to scout out for a base, and then we'll start building a base, and we can do our adventuring from there instead of this thing with the green. I never unpainted the green warp drive. So anyway, join me in episode 15, and we'll see you then. Later.